Hello, good morning, everybody. How are we doing this morning? Well, good afternoon. If you are from the same part of the world as I am, but I've just woken up, so it's the morning, right? This whole afternoon business, if it's actually afternoon, is nonsense. If you've just woken up, whether it's midday or midnight, it is the morning. That's my story, and I am sticking to it. Hello, how are you doing, and what are you working on this morning? Please do let me know. Always good to hear about people's projects. We've got a cool gamer. Hello, cool gamer. What are you doing this morning? I am being mildly sleep deprived because I made some suboptimal choices last night. I was watching Sako's stream, Sako Toomey, who is very cool, and you should definitely check out her channel if you are listening and you are not checking out her channel. Why not? She's great. But yeah, I was watching that, and that was a good life choice, but maybe less of a good life choice for somebody who is supposed to be, at least in theory, living in Greenwich Mean Time. Um, and then I made a worse choice, which was to continue staying up after that stream had ended for the night, and just sort of kept doing bits and pieces. I did achieve some productivity, but I also achieved going to bed at 6. Yeah, so I did not. Of course, then I didn't get to sleep until sometime after that, so I haven't had that much sleep. And I have only just dragged myself out of bed in the last 10 minutes, so yeah. I mean, it's not the least sleep I've ever had before a stream. For that, I somehow need to go into negative figures. But yes, waking up is the first item on my agenda, and then getting on with what I was working on yesterday, which is yet again boring thesis stuff. Though I am working on some craft commissions in the background as well. That's sort of ticking over. I am using it as a way to take breaks when I am not on the stream myself. I think probably it's a bit too much to do with my hands, but that'll be for after the stream, I think, this morning. Okay. I think that it's probably a good idea to let everybody get started, let everybody settle in, get their things in front of them, get things open and ready to work on. So I'm going to go for the first sprint of the day, and to do that, I'm just going to grab a timer. Ten minutes. All right. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. I did a little dance even though I'd forgotten to put the camera back on. A waste of a little dance. Shocking. Alright. I am back and I'm fairly on it this morning, afternoon, whatever. This time that I am awake and it is bright outside. It is so bright. It's even though it is very overcast and raining. It's one of those days where it's a blanket of white cloud up there, and therefore lots of really good lighting that my webcam just cannot handle. One day, folks, one day, when I am finished with all of this thesis and I have a job again, I will purchase a decent webcam, and I will be able to show you my face in all of its glory, and not glare. And like, I look at myself in this and I go, I'm gonna annoy somebody with dark screen mode on. I'm gonna have one of my viewers tuning in from Tennessee or something at 0 dark 30, and they're going to be blinded by my sudden moon face in their YouTube app. It's gonna happen. And to that person, I am very sorry, but one day I will have a. And speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Hello, Hayden. You regret nothing. I also regret nothing. The question is, did you finish your math homework? And if you didn't, are you doing it now? Also, good morning. It is good to see you. Always good to have you on the stream, even if that means that neither of us have slept very much since last we spoke. Did half of it. That's cool. That's cool. You were saying that it was due about 2 hours from now. Are you going to be able to get it done? Right now, getting dressed. Yes. Oh boy, getting dressed. That was a little bit of a struggle for me this morning because I was saying the weather's miserable here, and it's just cold. Blanket. Tell you what, the price of fuel being what it is these days, the blanket people of this world are going to come into their own, because if we can't turn on the radiator as freely, the warm embrace of blanket is good. Google exists, so presumably yes. Is that for is this for the bath homework or something else? I'm lost. You're gonna have to help me here, Hayden. You've responded to something that's come out of my mouth, but I'm not sure I remember all of the things that have come out of my mouth in the last couple of minutes. So it's for them. Yeah. Man. Yeah. That is a generational thing. I feel old. Like, when I was in school, I could not have done that. The answers to the questions that teachers set were not on Google. yet. Now, with also, how many blanket men does it take to change a light bulb? One, but he's at severe risk of falling down the ladder because of being tripped by the blanket. Two, if you want to do it safely. Or maybe one, because through caffeine I achieve all things. I used to never do this, now I use online calculators and such. I have to think you could do with calculators, like, huh? I suppose there could be like proper like programs that do that will calculate a whole thing. Yeah, and yeah, no, we just copied each other's homework. If we were if we were in that sort of situation where we're like, well, we've only done half of the work, what are we gonna do? Like copy the homework of somebody who'd done it. Zero, the too busy saying warm in bed. No, the point of Blanket Man is to wear it like a cape and go around the house and go and achieve your goals while still staying warm. No. You don't really become Blanket Man until you have removed the blanket from the bed. Everybody wears a blanket in bed, but only heroes wear it to the kitchen to get coffee. That's the that's the point. That's the point. I'm sure that can be rendered into some great power, great responsibility, like motivational speech. I'm not a motivational YouTuber. Oh, maybe I am. Maybe watching me continue to flail towards my goals is motivational to somebody. But yeah. I was trying to remember what I got ads for last night because we were talking about the weird ads that you get if you stay up late. I mean, I get a lot of weird ads all the time because I watch too much like Kira TV and CoffeeZilla, and now they reckon that I want to join a pyramid scheme because I want to hear about pyramid schemes. And I'm like, the whole point of watching content about pyramid schemes is probably not that you want to be in a pyramid scheme. But yeah, last night I actually got a useful one because it was about there was something about a moving service, and I am hopefully going to need that at some point. But then the weirdness started. We had Dianetics, Scientology. I am less likely to join that than I am to join a pyramid scheme. So I want to start one. Yeah. But the people trying to get me to buy into their ground floor opportunity are not selling me the opportunity to start a pyramid scheme. They are selling me in like several rungs deep, I'm sure. Also had a run of, I've never watched Game of Thrones, but for some reason the YouTube algorithm decided, you know what you need in your life? Compilations of Tyrion Lannister. And actually, for once, I'm like, yes, YouTube algorithm, I think you're right. That guy's hilarious. He's that Peter Dinklage seems to be a great actor, and they gave him some cracking lines. Fun fact: Joffrey went to my brother's school way back in the day. Way back in the day. But yeah, they weren't like friends, or I don't think they were even the same year or anything, but they were like but it was a thing that was known. Zane says, haven't watched it either, not alone there. Apparently, a teacher at my school had a class that watched Game of Thrones, and he had read all the books. He said if they weren't good, he'd write spoilers on the whiteboard. That is some quality teaching. Yeah, no, the only group I know that weaponized spoilers was I went to a summer camp for teenagers. It was we're into story time. Okay, so it was the whole premise was that it was for like academically bright kids. They got us to do the English and math SATs. Sort of when we were between 12 and 15, 16. And if we got like in the top 2% or something of results, you got to go to a summer camp and learn things. And it was a place where I got introduced to psychology. It's all their fault. And I did some computer programming and some other stuff. But I was one of the kids who would have been, right in the middle of when Harry Potter was getting released and it's having midnight releases in bookshops and all that stuff. I was never enough into it that I went to one of those, but there were a couple of times where a book was released in the middle of summer. It was released in the middle of the summer camp or just before the summer camp. So kids who'd managed to get the books had gone to the midnight thing. Obviously, being bright kids, read through it in a couple of days, and then there were threats. There were threats of yelling out spoilers, like about who dies and who killed them and that kind of thing. Yeah, it seemed like a bit of a jerk move, but yeah, most of the time, most of those kids were chill. But it probably says something about the nerdiness of the thing that the two things that were weaponized were Harry Potter spoilers and the game. Back in the day, the game was a thing, which also dates me. Hayden says, I grew up on Harry Potter, didn't read the books until I was older, watched the stuff 24/7. I actually never watched the movies. I'm not so much into watching things as I am into reading them or playing games. So I read all of the books as they came out pretty much. But I think I tried watching one of the very early ones, but I was just sort of like, I mean, I already know the story, and a movie that is entirely composed of like child actors of varying quality. I mean, I know that a lot of them went on to be great, but in the first few, it was a bit meh. But yeah, I'm considering whether I want to commit to watching Game of Thrones or whether I should just wait for YouTube to give it to me in small, like 2-minute clips. Is the rest of it as good? I mean, I saw the first episode of Game of Thrones. I think it was the first episode. It was one of the very early episodes. While I was working in a living history museum as a Well, I was a time guide some days, and other days I was a servant in the castle, and got to tell people about kitchen things. Um, but we everybody who was working on the project, we were all living together in this little house, and so we were eating and drinking drinking a lot in the evenings. And one of the things that we did was at one point was watch this new Game of Thrones thing that was coming out, and it didn't kind of it made an impression, but the impression wasn't necessarily a good one. It seemed to be quite like, we're gonna say and do things to be edgy. Um, Seemed to be quite a lot of like sexual violence and throwing people out of windows for shock value. And I was like, eh, eh. It's like there's clearly some really good world building here, but it kind of feels like, a kid that's just learned a new swear and is going to do it every 5 minutes, just so you know that it's edgy, it's dark, it's gritty. I'm Batman, that kind of thing. But I mean, it looks like the kind of the world building stuff does get really cool, and the politics looks really interesting, and I enjoy watching that kind of thing. But then again, I have also been told that the last series is a huge disappointment. So maybe I should read. Maybe I should read them. You're gonna read them, Hayden. Yeah, maybe that's the way to do it. Maybe I've got a load of Audible credits, and I know that I'm going for surgery in May. Not going to be able to lift my arms for a while, so maybe what I will do is I'll load up a bunch of Game of Thrones and listen to that. Okay, yes, you are correct. I should be doing a sprint instead of rambling on story time about stuff. That is sensible. Thank you. I am going to pull up a 25-minute timer, do our first long sprint of the day. I am probably going to run for a little later than usual today, so we'll see how we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Oh, looks like we've had some chatting. Let's go say hello. Is it a bot? Oh, there is a bot. Go away, bot. Hayden says 10 problems left. Off to school. See you all Thursday. See you Thursday. Good luck with getting your problems done before class. I'm sorry if my whittering distracted you from that. Good morning, KC. Looks like the wrench is already needed. Yep. Bots everywhere. What are you up to this morning, apart from hitting bots over the head with a wrench? I am still working on thesis things. I made words, so I should do like a word count, shouldn't I? That's 123 and some other assorted editing bits. So, yeah, I'll take that. I've also just remembered I have caffeine. Yes, it's been a relatively quiet one this morning. We've had Hayden in, we've had Cool Gamer in, but it seems like not too many people are about. I know some people I've chatted to are busy this morning with work things. So I'm not that surprised, but yeah, it's been pretty quiet, and I've just been rambling away to myself in that way that I sometimes do. Oh, I should change the banner. That'll do. Okay. So yeah, Casey, what are you up to? Are you going forth to fight the reports still, or are you hiding from the work? Maybe currently on the phone with mom, and then more day job stuff for me. Oh no, more day job. Terribly inconsiderate how it exists and gets in the way of things, but hopefully I'll be able to keep you company for a bit. Yeah, if you're on the phone, I think what I might do is just throw another sprint up and roll with that, and then we can chat afterwards once you're done talking to your mom. All right, let's do this thing. Let's just do this thing. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. How are we doing? Big face. Hello. Okay. And it looks like we now have an Oscar. Hello. Welcome to the stream. How are things? I wrote some things and deleted some things and wrote some more things, deleted some more things. I have no idea. No idea what my word count is for that one because it just, yeah. Net minus 300. But yeah, I deleted more than that, so I don't know. I have no idea. And Casey was actually being productive. Well done, Casey. I am glad that you have achieved some productivity. It's difficult. How dare my day job expect me to do what they actually pay me for? Yeah, it's so rude of them. So rude of them. But yeah, well, I suppose they've done a little better than they were doing last time, in that they've now presumably sent you some work to do rather than just sort of leaving you to twiddle your thumbs. But yeah, day jobs, gotta do them. Can't live with them. Presumably can't live without them. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm feeling quite good about my productivity as well this morning. I'm doing okay. I'm making words and also unmaking words, but that's editing for you. I hope that you are zipping through those reports or other dull work tasks that they are sending you, and will have time to slack off for a bit. Casey says, yes, I finally got things to do. My boss has been out due to family emergency, so I've been slammed. Oh, yeah. That's trouble with work. It's like buses. Like you wait ages for some to come along, and suddenly three things come along at once. Makes the day go by faster, at least. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, while having too many things to do is a problem, I think I have enjoyed work situations where I was required to be there and look like I was working, and I couldn't do anything else, but they hadn't got work for me, or they hadn't organized the things needed for me to do work, because it's just awkward and boring. So I'm glad that the day is going by faster for you. How are you doing, Oscar? If you're still there, it's hard to tell with StreamYard sometimes, but I hope that things are going well for you. Please do tell us about your projects, what's going on. There's been plenty of days and I just showed up to work to watch Netflix. Oh man. Yeah, all of my jobs have been on site somewhere. So that has not been a thing, though. I mean, I've secretly written stuff at retail jobs when I was on a sort of late evening shift at a sort of a department store or groceries. It was in the grocery section anyway, and they're like, so that's like 10 at night. There's like a customer every half hour, and like there's nothing to do, and I've already tidied the till. So yeah. Casey says, glad I'm working from home now, so at least when I'm not busy, it doesn't feel like I'm being watched. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing, when you gotta hide how you are staving off the boredom, because they're like, you should be doing something, but very often they expect you to be doing something without really having any idea of what you should be doing. Brandon Sanderson worked a night job at the beginning of his career, and he would write during his shift since they were slow. Yep. Yeah, it's not a terrible way to write. It's almost like sprinting. You write a little bit, and then somebody comes along, and you deal with the transaction, and then they go away, and then you write a little bit more. Yeah. It did mean during that time that I had to write while listening to the way that this shop did their music licensing. Was that they bought a CD in and played it on repeat for a few weeks, and then they changed it over. This is how, I don't know what it was, something to do with how they were handling the broadcast rights of it. But oh boy, some of that music was really bad, and it was burned into my brain by the end of it. I purposely took the job for that reason. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being a thing. Yeah, work from home jobs have a bit of that about it, if they're, especially if they're the sort of like customer servicey kind of things, because you can be working on something and wait for a call. Yeah, don't worry about random E's. Random E's are fine. It's random E for me. Yeah. I'll take all the drugs you have going. I mean what? I mean, can't get demonetized if you've never been monetized. But yeah, random letters are engagement. I'm not gonna turn up my nose at free engagement. No. Okay. I think I have rambled for long enough. I did a long ramble earlier, so I'm trying to catch up and right myself. So I think we should go to another sprint. Yeah. Yay, engagement. All right. Maybe let's not do too much re-engagement, or it'll start looking like bot chat. But yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny. I like it. All right, so sprinting again, more writing. All right, let's do some more productivity. 3, 2, 1, sprint. Hello, everybody. Oh, I was not muted. I'm really sorry. Katie? Gail? I don't understand. Oscar, maybe help me understand. Uh, Yay! Someone sent me another report to do. Oh, wasn't I just happy I had things to do? Lol, take it all back. Yeah, fair, fair. There's a fine line between having having enough things to do and then having too many things to do. Weren't, but I like listening to all the background noise. I'm just concerned because I'm like, crap. I threw on some Miracle of Sound in the background that time, and I was like, I'm not always conscious of when I start humming along to things. So it's like I just had the sudden panic of wait, have I just been making noises? Um, I've not warmed up. I don't mind singing to crowds, but I like to know when I'm doing it. Yeah. Um, I I think you weren't around for this bit, but I have never watched or read Game of Thrones. But for some reason, YouTube, in its infinite wisdom, decided that what I needed in my feed was like a load of clips of Tyrion Lannister roasting people. And I was like, oh, actually, yes. Yes. For once, YouTube, you're correct. I did need that in my life. That guy's really entertaining. And I remembered during the last sprint, like, oh, hey, I remember Miracle of Sound, who writes songs about like games and series and pop culture and stuff in general. Uh, he writes these songs and puts them out on YouTube and I think Patreon. But has a really cool song that I heard years ago called the Half Man Song, which is obviously about Tyrion Lannister. And I'm like, oh, I should listen to that again. Now I've actually seen some more of the dude. I'm like, oh yeah, you're starting to get some of the references now. That's quite cool. Uh, Tyrion is the best. Yes, Tyrion is the best. God of tits and wine. Uh, uh, you're a fan. Awesome. I'm trying to decide at the moment. Should I watch the show or read the books first? Um, I I look at all them door stoppers and I look at all those hours of TV, and both of them scare me. Uh, and and the books are like, there's always the risk that this series will never end. And the TV series, I know that the end sucks. I have been told by people who are fans of the series that once they got past the stuff that Martin wrote, it just kind of lame. um, it was actually that was the thing. That it was an article about that taught me about plotting and pantsing. I'd never heard of the concept before. But I read this article where somebody was trying to explain how it had gone so wrong, and their explanation for it was that Martin is like a hardcore pantser, and everything is like he creates all these characters and then he allows them to develop and run into each other in all kinds of interesting ways and kill each other off and all sorts of things, and he doesn't really have that kind of overarching plot to start out with. He's not trying to get to beats. He's kind of, it's a bit more organic than that. Whereas once they ran out of his material, the team that took over, well, they're a TV writing team, and they tend to be a little bit more plotty. They think in series arcs, and they had some indication from him about kind of where he wanted to go with it. So they just start bringing the characters from beat to beat to beat to beat rather than allowing them to develop and maybe allowing the beats to change. So that was their explanation of why it felt like the whole thing just completely changed in the way that the story flowed and operated. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I was a little put off by the first. I watched the first episode or something when it came out, and it wasn't in the best circumstances because I was surrounded by a bunch of people who were all, we were all drinking and having a good time. But it was like the show was a little bit like, I don't know whether the books are also, but it seemed a little bit like there was a bit of edge's sake going on in the early episodes, and it's just like, there wasn't enough in it for me to really want to push ahead with it. It's like you're agreeing with me. Books weren't like never finished, and the show ended up trash at the end. So, but I love watching the show, even though I know where it's headed. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Well, I might have to. I might have to look then. I'm thinking that I get some surgery in May, so I'm gonna have a month or so where I um, don't have much. I won't be able to do much. I won't be able to lift my arms. I may have to stop streaming for a while, just because a bit too much of this. But I think either the audiobooks or watching the series might be a thing. Might be the only time in my life that I seek out that much sitting down and consuming content in that way, because normally I can't stay still long enough to do that for several seasons. Or yeah, 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 yeah. Like I said, YouTube is doing a good job at selling it to me with clips of snarky characters being snarky at each other. Oh no! This is very much. This is good surgery. It's. I'm getting top surgery, so I'm getting the titties removed. So I am very happy about it. It's great. Um, touch wood, not have any complications, but generally this is a good and happy thing in my life, and should hopefully make yeah, yay, happy for me. Yeah, thank you. Long time coming. Yeah. These quite heavy chested. I've been carrying these around for a long time. They're cumbersome. Yeah. the thing I the thing I didn't expect. So I was vaguely aware of Tyrion Lannister being an amusing jerk, but the thing I didn't expect was some clips of him talking to. You'll know who this is, but I was without context when I was introduced last night. But a character who's a clearly a sort of shrewd political operator who is a eunuch, and having even without or watching the series is another thing I have absorbed through the osmosis of pop culture. I have always subscribed to the theory of wear it like armor and they can never use it to hurt you. I'm like, oh, I see. I now have a new well of jokes about having no dick. I'm sure that I can bring this up with hilarious moments later. I'm sure it'll be interesting to see how much weight you lose. Always wondered how much weight my girls are. I have attempted like putting them on a scale at one point because they are large enough that you can kind of do that. Oh boy, it's at least a stone. It's at least a stone. But I will tell you. Hey Jack, good morning. Hey Kivy, how are you? What did I come in on? Yeah, fair. The weirdest point in this morning's conversation, I think we summoned you with weirdness. No, I was saying that the original beginning of it was YouTube thinks that I need to watch videos of compilations of Game of Thrones characters being snarky at each other. So I was I was saying that that there's some lines that could be useful. We'll store them away for later. Should I ever need a very weird self-deprecating joke. Banter between Tyrion and Varys is amazing. Yep. They seem to be quite the duo. And Braun is the other guy that I have seen videos of him with that I'm like, oh, yeah, those two are quite hilarious too. Summoned with weirdness sounds like me. Yep. If I ever needed to summon you, what I would put in the circle to summon you is weirdness. Maybe some coffee. Weed? Probably weed. Weed and weirdness. Coffee would be for summoning Sako. All right. I think that it is probably got one more sprint left in me. So I think I'm going to do that now. Let's get some productivity on. All right. In 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I hope that you all had a very productive sprint and got some stuff done. I sort of did and sort of didn't. I got some things done. There was a lot more moving things around than writing, but I am inching towards finishing the section that I am on, which is good. It's good. I feel happy about it. But I'm afraid that is all I got time for today. That'll be our last print. Casey says nothing productive done because I'm waiting for my report to finish downloading. Yeah, even when they send it to you, it's that's not the end of the nonsense. It seems. Well, I think that's a great excuse to do some writing. But I'm afraid you're going to have to find some other sprints if you want to do it that way, because it is 10 to 3 and I have eaten an orange today, so I should probably eat something else. This is lunchtime. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you want to see more sprints of me, there are more sprints of me below. If you want to see more sprints of other people, Devin Cuttings playlist below. There is some other cool stuff that you should also check out. I have been Jack Byron, burbling away at you. I will see you this Thursday and every Tuesday and Thursday at noon GMT. See you later, alligator. In a wild crocodile. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.